Anyone that slings bugs will know that fly fishing from a kayak can be tough. A lot of the time your back cast ends up in the water, and you're always getting your line tangled up in something. This is what makes the Kubera 120 a game changer. Its snag-proof open deck concept offers limitless fly fishing possibilities. This super stable hybrid kayak is a sight fishing machine that won't track on you when you cast like other small vessels will. And being able to move your feet around because of the lack of sidewalls or a center console gives you a more open feeling. With the Kubera 120's shallow draft, you can glide effortlessly over shallow water, helping you get to your secret and secluded pocket.
Look at that chunk.
And when you get there, the option to anchor yourself in position with a micro power pole helps fight against gusts of wind that could carry you away when concentrating on your casts. From chasing down trout to catching some bonefish, the Kubera 120 is a fly fisherman's dream.
Good bone, baby.
Pedal drive kayaks are a great way to fish or explore on the water, but not all are created equally. The Pescador Pilot by Perception Kayaks delivers pedal-driven performance at an unbelievable price. Unfortunately, other kayaks in this price range do not, and we're here to show you what you should look for in a quality pedal drive kayak. The Perception Pescador Pilot features the perfect balance of stability, speed, maneuverability, and tracking. The impressive stability of the Pilot makes it the easiest kayak to enter or exit and provides a steady on-water feel for the most secure experience available. Our superior stability even allows anglers to cast from a standing position. Not only is the shape of the Pilot tuned for performance, the captain's chair seat is also anatomically designed to accommodate all sizes of paddlers and peddlers, and is trimmable so that you can ensure you're in the right position no matter how you choose to propel yourself. Now all these attributes work together for you to get where you want to be quicker, easier, and more comfortably so you can enjoy being on the water longer. Most of the features of the Pilot are designed to enhance your on-water experience. However, others are designed with your safety in mind. Of those are multiple scupper holes, which are the self-draining holes located throughout the deck of the kayak that drain water out of your boat without letting water back in. Also, the Pilot features a skid plate on the stern, so your kayak is protected when dragged. Unfortunately, none of those things can be said about the competition. There are several different styles of kayak pedal systems on the market, but the Pilot Drive stands apart due to it being capable of moving the boat forward and reverse without needing to make any additional adjustments. Just pedal forward to go forward or backward to go in reverse. Another advantage is its bicycle-style rotation with a lab-tested, optimized gear ratio that feels more natural, more efficient, and less fatiguing, letting you effortlessly cover water all day. Without these key advantages, other pedal drives simply don't compare. If you're looking for a pedal drive kayak that's easy, efficient, feature-rich, and built for long-lasting fun, the Pescador Pilot is truly in a class all of its own.
Today we're looking at the 13.5 V2 in the standard configuration. Now in the Lure series, the standard basically means your regular old paddle kayak. Now the standard configurations are upgradable down the road to the overdrive system if that's something that you want to do. You don't necessarily have to do that right out of the gate. However, they all also come in overdrive ready, which means it comes with the beaver tail rudder, the 8-ball steering, and of course the overdrive pedal system, and you can always add on the motor drive unit as well. But if we start here at the front of the kayak, you'll notice that we've got the molded in handles that's on all of our FeelFree kayaks. Great spot to carry the kayak or to tie it down for transport. We've also got a handful of flat spots here in the mold to allow you just some surfaces to install things like GoPro cameras or stand-up bars, anything that you kind of want to mod to make the kayak your own. We've also got some rod tip protection here, just a safe spot to tuck your rod away, maybe when you're going through some trees or coming into a dock. And then we've also got the oval hatch here, which gives you access inside the kayak. Some with motor drives are hiding batteries in there. Otherwise, a good spot for a dry bag, a cooler, anything you want to take out on the water for you. As we move back on the kayak, you're going to see the first visual difference in the V1 and V2 kayaks, and that is the console hatch. This hatch has been redesigned for the V2 to just give us a little bit more room in there. Got some bungees on top for kind of tucking away some stuff, but a lot of good storage space in there for lures or snacks or really anything that you want to take out on the water that you need quick access to. Again, the stability of the 13.5 is great for leaning up here, grabbing something out of the hatch and getting back into your seat. We also have the removable sonar pod, which is another feature of the Lure series. And this pod is great because you can do things like attach your fish finder to the top, hide all of your cables on the inside with your battery, attach your transducer on the bottom, and then it can get stowed in your truck or in your garage if, say, you store the kayak outside or you just don't want anybody to have access to those electronics. We have some adjustable footrests here as well, so you can kind of find that good paddling position once you're in the kayak, as well as a stand-up leash to help you get in and out of your gravity seat. The deck is made of this soft cushion here, which is good for standing in, but it also provides a good texture, so it's kind of non-slip there while you're standing and paddling. And we also have some scupper holes all throughout the deck to help with drainage. You'll see we've got Unitrack accessory rails on either side of the kayak as well, which are great for utilizing Unitrack accessory plates for a variety of accessories like fish finders, rod holders, cell phone holders, anything of that sort. And you'll see we've got molded in handles on either side, as well as some paddle keepers when you need to go hands-free. And finally, in the cockpit area here, we've got the star of the show, the gravity seat. Adjustable up and down. The 13.5 V2 comes with the high back seat, super comfortable. We've got pockets on either side, adjustable low to high. Just a great seat to spend a day fishing in the kayak. Another good thing about the gravity seat is that when it's in the up position, it just gives you another bit of storage underneath the seat, which I find convenient for things like Plano boxes, pliers, just little kind of odds and ends that I want to have quick access to on the water. Finally, as we move into the rear of the 13.5 here, you're going to see some more familiar faces of the Lure series, like our rod holders here with leashes to keep those secure, our rear tank well, which you get a little bit more real estate out of on the 13.5 since it is a little bit longer boat. Plenty of space here for a FeelFree crate bag or a cooler, dry bag with anything that you might want to keep stored back here, and a nice bungee system in place to keep all that tied down. You've got some scupper holes back here to help with drainage and another handle to help you transport the kayak around. You'll notice on the V2s that every boat is now plumbed to install the beaver tail rudder system, which in my opinion is the number one accessory anybody needs to get for their fishing kayak, especially if you're spending any time in windy conditions or rivers. It just really helps with the tracking of the kayaks. We've got the big molded in handle here in the back, as well as the patented wheel in the keel.
Hi there, Ryan Lilly here with OldTown. I'm here standing with our new OldTown Sportsman Salty PDL 120 model. I'm going to run you through bow to stern of this exciting new boat within our OldTown Sportsman line. This boat retails for $18.99, backed with our lifetime hull warranty and our 5-year PDL drive warranty. This thing is such a great addition to our PDL lineup. So some distinct differences you'll see right away is the hull shape. It's not like our Topwater W hull. It's not like our Predator PDL hull. It is unique. It has a lot more rocker to it, which means that this thing's going to perform great in big water and wavy conditions and current. This thing's just a fun, zippy boat. It actually happens to be our fastest pedal drive in our lineup. So it's just a really fun, sporty ride. It is going to have your molded in handles in the bow and the stern. You've got a nice wide open space up here for stashing gear in front of the pedal drive and the bow. You've got your transducer scupper hole here that leads down to the universal transducer mount below. We actually modified the hull to add that same universal transducer mount that mounts most fish finder model transducers underneath that hull. You're able to route the cable up and mount your fish finder or your accessories on these 18-inch accessory tracks on either side. Again, you've got your legendary OldTown PDL drive. This thing's bulletproof. It is low maintenance. All you need to do is rinse it off after use in fresh or salt water and keep that prop clear. And this thing will be backed with a 5-year warranty. You've got your premium floor pads. You've got your adjustable premium seat here. You'll notice that we've done some seat upgrades to a lot of our OldTown PDL models. This one here has that nice breathable cushion seat under the seat storage pocket. It is adjustable on the shuttle track. Beside the seat, you've got your trucker style rudder control knob that you're actually able to tension your rudder. So if you want to maintain a position without having to babysit that rudder, you're able to lock that rudder position down using that tensioner knob there. We got a forward-facing rod holder, so if you're landing a fish or need to switch out a bait, you're able to plop your rod right beside you in your seat and mess around with your fishing pole without having to lay it down in the hull in front of you. You've got your paddle clip beside your seat, your 2 stern-facing molded-in rod holders here on either side of your seat. And we modified the hull to accept large style tackle crates like this Flambeau Tough Crate that you see here. You see we've got a lot of additional room that we can actually fit a cooler, like an Engel cooler that I've got in the Ember version over there. You've just got all kinds of room for gear. And that was a really nice modification that we made to this hull to just blow out this space and to add a lot more usable space. And you can see that we actually have a lot of bare surface back here that allow you to mount other accessories. So if you want to run accessory tracks or other things like lighting, you've got the ability to modify your hull even more if you would like. Back here you've got that molded in grab handle, and you've got your XL rudder with your grab handle designed right into that rudder.
Drive is a unique pedal-driven system that tucks completely away in the hull of the boat. You simply raise and lower the drive unit by moving this lever up and down. And because that flex drive cable is actually housed inside of a dagger board, it can hit and take obstacles, allowing the drive to tuck cleanly away and safely inside the hull. If you do encounter an obstacle, you can simply reach up and move the lever again to re-engage the drive. You also have 3 positions that the drive can be in. Completely tucked away when the lever is all the way down, a halfway position which will allow you to still gain some speed even in shallow water, and then a fully engaged position which is going to be your most efficient. This is all accomplished by a flexible drive shaft that's housed inside of a dagger board to protect it. Now we've made some improvements to that area of the boat as well. We've tightened up all the tolerances and increased the diameter of the drive shaft to make it more durable. In addition to it being able to tuck into the hull of the boat, you also have access to the prop right here to clear any debris or fishing line that might find its way around it. The Jackson Flex Drive is made up of 2 major components, the upper unit and the lower unit. When you receive your boat from Jackson, the lower unit will already be installed in the kayak. The upper can be attached by simply lining up the spider gear, dropping it into place, and attaching the 2 provided thumb screws. Jumping right into what makes up the upper unit of the Mark IV, we've completely redesigned the system. Working with engineers from the biking industry, we used proven technology and went to a belt-driven system that's a 1:12 ratio, so every time you spin the pedals, the prop is going to spin 12 times. By going to the belt-driven system, we were able to reduce the gearing by 50% and put the remaining gears inside an oil bath completely sealed. The drive system is virtually maintenance-free, but the only real thing you need to worry about is rinsing the drive down after you've been in salt water. By moving to this proven technology from the biking industry, we've simplified the entire upper unit. This has made it smoother, more efficient, faster, quieter, and a whole lot more durable. With the improved efficiencies, we were also able to go to a more aggressive pitched prop. That prop also spins in the reverse direction because of the gear reduction. All this combined together just makes for a much better experience on the water. One of the other improvements over the Mark III is that when you do receive your Flex Drive, the crank arms are already going to be pre-installed, so there's nothing to install or put together other than mating the upper to the lower unit. We included a short piece of gear track on top of the housing so that you can add accessories to that area, making it very useful.
I'm here on my favorite bass lake with the Mirage Lynx. I've just rigged this kayak out for freshwater bass fishing, just the way I like it. Up front, I've got a Ram wedge mount in the sail mast receiver that's factory integrated into this hole. And then I've got a double socket and a GoPro mount on that, which my GoPro is sitting on for a front on angle. For the nice over the shoulder angle, I've got a Ram camera boom with a track node on it that's going right into the integrated patented Ram hand track that's built into the H-Rail kit that I've outfitted this boat with. The nice thing that I like about the H-Rail kit is that you've got this integrated track as well as the capacity to mount H-Rail accessories to it. So I've actually done a combination of both things, and one of the reasons that I've done that is that I've actually run the fish finder cables into the track and up front to where my fish finder head unit sits, and then I've clamped a couple H-Rail clamps right around that to keep everything in place. The fish finder cables then at the back of the seat frame, I'm using the bungee keeper that goes over the back of the seat frame, and I'm also going over the cables and to the latch on the back of the seat frame to keep that cable from sliding around. The Mirage Lynx is such a stealthy platform that it has incredible glide. When you see a target up ahead, you kind of want to plan in advance, which actually works to your advantage. You get prepared to cast at an area before you actually get there without spooking the fish. So if you see a juicy area that you want to work with your lure, go ahead and power pull down, and you can actually stop pedaling quite far in advance, glide up just within casting range, power pull down, make that perfect cast. On the left-hand side of my kayak, I've mounted 2 Ram rollerball paddle clips. My paddle stashes there and it stays pretty low to the deck. I like to keep that side of the kayak open for landing fish. I've also got the new Ram Adaptapost H-Rail base on the H-Rail with a Ram Tough Tube rod holder. A lot of times when I land a fish, I'll stick a rod right in that rod holder there, and since I'm landing the fish on the left-hand side of the boat, it makes sense to be positioned on the left-hand side of the boat just after my seat stays out of my casting area, out of my landing area. But when I've got that fish on board, I stick the rod in it, I can take the hook out of the fish's mouth and get a safe release on the fish, and that works out really well for me. If you were left-handed, you might think about swapping everything to the right-hand side of the boat, and that might work better for you. Don't forget to stay hydrated on the water. For that reason, I've got my 40-ounce water bottle in the Hobie track-mounted cup holder right there, and I've got my H-Rail mini bin with my tools and my VHF radio so I can stay in communication with my buddies on the water. Right behind the seat, I've got a Vantage Seat accessory bag on my crate, and then I've actually got all the rod holders on my crate on the left-hand side of my crate to keep my casting lane clear. I'm a right-handed caster, so for 70% of the casts I'm making throughout the day, the rods sitting on the left-hand side of the crate really open up my casting lane. The Naqua lithium fish finder battery is actually sitting inside the pouch that's part of the back of the seat here. So that's a really handy way to house that battery. Very lightweight lithium battery. You could also strap that battery up around the H-Rail or around the ram ball that your head unit's sitting on, but this is just the way I like to do it. This morning I had the H-bar rigged up, kind of was getting familiar with the body of water for today and wanted to be able to stand up and down a lot. That H-bar helped me get up and down from my seat probably 100 times, and it didn't fatigue me at all. When the weather's really hot, and especially if you have some conditions you're battling, it helps to have that H-bar for some standing support, just to take a little bit of the fatigue off of your body and allow you to balance a little bit easier with your eyes on the horizon, making those critical casts that you want to make. Your Mirage Lynx is going to come standard with a Mirage Drive 180 with standard length kick-up fins. Because of the lightweightness of the hull and the fact that this hull sits pretty proud and up on top of the water, I find that it performs really well with the standard fins. For even more power and responsiveness out of your Mirage Drive 180, you can add turbo length fins to this drive. Simply swap out the standard length fins for the kick-up turbos, and you've got ultimate power and performance out of your Mirage Drive. One last touch that I like to add to all my fishing kayaks is an EVA deck pad kit. On this Mirage Lynx, since I'm moving around the deck quite a bit, it's really stable even as you move far forward toward the bow. I like to keep things quiet, and that EVA deck pad kit really helps with that and adds to the stealth factor of this kayak, which is a big attribute to this particular model. Overall, I'm really excited about fishing this Mirage Lynx more, and I really am enjoying it as a fishing platform. I like the aspect that you can keep it simply rigged for a quick outing and easy travel, or fully rig it to the nines for any kind of fishing that you like.